What's up, folks? Justin Khanna here. Sometimes when I see a knife, whether it's scrolling through the gram or I get an email newsletter about it or one of you folks sends it to me in a DM, I know I gotta get my hands on it to at least try it. And if the company is ready and willing, I get to review it, so you folks get to hear my thoughts. And then I always try to make sure that you guys get a chance to win one of your very own. And I actually have it right here. I'm gonna fake unbox it because I have been using it for a couple weeks, but this gives you kind of the experience of what it looks like when it comes. This is the TOG Sujihiki, and I can say that because it's their only Sujihiki. They've got a bunch of different shapes and profiles, but you folks know I love my slicer style knives, and the aesthetic and profile of this was just jaw-dropping for me. Quickie feature rundown. This knife is sporting a 21 layer Akudo 440 high carbon Japanese steel. Inside those layers, there's this copper, which is supposed to help with antimicrobial qualities and also just make the blade look super unique. Full tang going all the way through. It's got the 3 rivets here to attach that Kebony maple as the handle. TOG uses that wood as a sustainable but still durable alternative to some of the tropical hardwoods that some other manufacturers and makers will use. A cool point I found in my research is that you can either get this Kebony handle or you can get African blackwood as the wood, and because of the different densities of the wood, this one is actually 10 grams lighter than the other version. So depending on what you're into, take that info for what it's worth. Rockwell hardness is at 58 to 60, and the edge itself is a double bevel in a very Western style, as you can see. It's a really clean contour on the shape of the handle, and it's also got these really beautiful etchings in the wood that I can only assume are meant to help with grip. And they did a really good job with that detail. It's not intrusive, you can't really feel it. The handle does feel smooth, but it does help with how the handle feels, and you folks know that I'm not really into working with a knife when my hand is dirty or full of anything. A small con with that detail though, it's really easy for food to get stuck in these etchings, and because they're so thin and so small, it's really kind of hard to keep it clean, but just keep that in mind. Blade profile does lend this knife to be more of a slicing knife. I know that's kind of an obvious thing to say, but it is really not wide at all. There isn't much of a heel, so I can't do my normal chopping projects that I'll do with other longer knives like my Masamoto, for example. It does remind me of a mix between like a Western style Sujihiki and one of those really long, flexible salmon slicing knives, like the smoked salmon knives, you know what I'm talking about? It is relatively stiff, there's not a lot of give to this knife, so depending on what your preference is, that's also something to note. This knife is also a dream to sharpen, with the edge geometry being the way that it is, and the steel being that 58 to 60 Rockwell hardness. It sharpens fast, and I can confidently say this is gonna last your whole week. This is keeping in mind that in between sharpening sessions, I was doing a couple swipes on the old honing rod. Last up, the price. At 160 euros for the quality that you're getting, this knife is a great buy. You would be hard pressed to find another knife with these materials, these artistic details, made in Japan at this price point. Now, the ultimate question, who is this for and should you buy it? If you do lots of light scoring projects, think squid, eggplant, mushrooms, that delicate slicer work, or hey, maybe you have a smoked salmon dish on your station, this is probably the coolest looking and best performing knife in that category that I've personally gotten my hands on. That being said, it sits kind of in this weird, interesting middle ground of a fusion project where it's not the best slicer in the world, and it's also kind of overkill if you're using it as like that salmon knife. This knife can do a lot of things, but I don't think it necessarily knocks it out of the park for any of them. It just doesn't have the weight of like a thicker slicer for raw fish, and because of the profile, it's not the most comfortable to do any heavy vegetable prep with. If you're into butchery and like long, thin profile knives, I think that with the edge geometry on this could be your go-to butchery knife. If you like this steel but don't care much for the artistic details of this knife, the Misono 440 is also a really, really great line of knives with more of a Western style. TOG has an amazing incentive for you to pick up more than one of their knives. If you pick a very specifically selected set of their knives, you can get up to 70 euros off, which if you're the kind of person who likes all of your knives to match and have your whole kit be a full set, you can get, I think, 4 knives for less than 500 euros, which is an insanely good deal. I'd personally like to see how the Giotto feels and holds up. Drop a comment or a like down below if you'd like to see that. Maybe that will persuade Bert and the guys over at TOG to make that collaboration happen. I personally loved using this knife. It is freshly sharpened, ready to go for one of you folks. Go ahead and just drop a comment down below. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel and get some color on that like button to be entered to win. Thanks so much for your attention. I'll see you in the next video. My name's Justin Khanna. Have a good one.